I want to talk about how entrepreneurship is a game, and here is why. Shall we go ahead and get started?
Yeah, entrepreneurs are always like the unique, the people with the unique abilities to see something and take something on where other people might feel, being stuck, not taking the risk. Because an entrepreneur, for me, is a risk taker, but a calculated risk taker, and fill a niche in a way where there is a need, as perceived.
Correct.
Yet often there are also lots of failures in, and it should not discourage them. Let's make the distinction what a game actually is, right?
Yes.
A game has to be something, what gets you excited in order for you to play, because you go onto the field. You're not in the ranks and watching a game. And the playing field is an area you create, right, as a perimeter. So whatever the game is in the world you wanted to play. So, and with the area, you also create rules around it. And then you have the teams, and you have to see the teams kind of practicing in the game. And as they practice, it doesn't matter winning or losing, even though it does, but I'm saying it doesn't matter if you think about coming from a point, you just go into play to have fun. And the beauty is, as you give your best and you practice, it doesn't matter if you lose, because you also win. Every loser also can take something away. You lose something and you gain something each and every time. And also for the winner actually only wins. And I'm saying only because there is no gain other than the emotion. There is no learning. And the good part is, as you win here, eventually you will lose again. And you have to be aware of it's give and take constantly. Give and take constantly. And you can see it now, go back to entrepreneurs, business people. See corporations like Sears. And we have seen how they had been growing for so many years, and had been known by generations. And they had been grown to a point where their winning became the loss. As they grew too big, and there was not enough in place to justify their growth, that they had to crumble.
Isn't that also the way capitalism is?
Of course it is. My understanding of capitalism in original form, that's how lots of things is not played right now. So the true capitalism is actually a fair game with rules. And that's kind of like, I hope we're going back to, because that just helps everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone to play a fair game. Everyone has a chance, right? I want to focus on integrity. And here's why: because integrity means workability, meaning it's whole and complete and workable. If any part is missing, it puts the integrity in jeopardy. It might work for a certain time, but eventually will break down as a whole. If you look at any business, any place, no matter which size it is, what is a business? It's all about the people. When you look at it this way, people matter. Unfortunately, the way we structure it, people don't matter. They just become a part of the system. You can call it a number, right? We don't care enough, it seems. I just want to say in the Constitution, where it says, we the people, right?
The people, I love that.
And that goes right back into the spirit. If you think about, unity, and you think about entrepreneurship, and I think about teams in a game, and the purpose of the game is to create something what is just not existing yet. Like soccer, you don't have the goal yet. You create from where you're standing. You get on the field, where you're standing, everything is open. Possibilities are endless. How do you play the game, right?
Right.
But you play it within the rules. So entrepreneurship is just like it. exactly like it. You pick something, you create the rules around it, you know, how you want to play it. And starting off, you create, you know, do you want sole proprietor? You want to be an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, you know, nonprofit, you name it. You have to think about in which frame you want to create your play, right? So,
Exactly.
and then also you have a goal, where do you want to take it? So you take a game here, a game there, and it adds up to multiple games over time, like we call it a season.
I love that.
You know, and as we create the season, there's an end goal. Maybe go to nationals, maybe go to world, whatever it is. And that's kind of like how entrepreneurs should see it and actually stagger their, you know, you start off with the game fulfilled. What does it look like? Where do you want to go? You know, just create a vision for yourself and what you want to build. As an entrepreneur, you know, you come up with something. You entering a play field where already players, and they might have been playing for a much longer time period. So you can use them for mentorship. And not just you can, you should. See what works, being open to everything and attached to nothing. See what works and see, you know, being mindful of change is a constant. What has changed? There's an opportunity because they might not have identified the change because they had been in a comfort zone, thinking about it, CS, for so long, being a leader and being in a comfort zone, not identifying the market change. You know, you practice before you go into the competition. And even the competition you can see as a practice. You know, it's just a higher level where I really measure, you know, how far did my practice really take me? Because you're going outside your, you know, practice partners. You go and to an extent to see like how far can you take it now? And you keep going this way. And that's just all of it is opportunity. Well, going back to the coach, what would the coach to the game? What would the coach say? Right? So you're just dealing with it. You're on the field. So you have to respond to what happens. And here again, let's see, somebody plays a foul. You know, what is called a foul by the referee.
Yeah.
But now we know some might be intentional and some might be, you know, just by accident. Somebody slides in like soccer players, you know, they just slide in. They didn't want to take someone out, but instead hitting the ball, they slid into the body and called a foul. Okay, so we have choices to make. You know, forget about decisions. Decisions, you always come from reasoning. Leave decisions away. Make choices. Make your choices by coming from nothing. What do you want to do? And you end up with whatever. You're dealing with it. You know, you learn even when you make a mistake.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
So instead being stuck, that was actually my point. I didn't make it clear. I'm like, if you think about for a moment when you make a decision, you're going too far into reasoning, this and that, and often, mostly the reasoning is just plain simply assumptions. At the same token, you could make a good, you know, quick decision of just being practice coming from nothing. Just practice always coming from nothing. It was not intentionally done. It's just like, you know, that's what it is. I accept it and I go forward the way I wanted to play my game within the rule book. That's it. I choose, I let it go. And you just take what you know, you have a vision, you take what you know, you put some milestones in, major milestones, you know, in order for me to create that business. Go to the people who kind of like-minded. They also kind of like seem to be rebellions, going out, you know, taking risks, and everyone else wants to stop them. Talk to those people and get some feedback. But yet, doesn't, you know, always be cautious too. evaluate the risk. And you can always calculate your risk, and whatever you do, you can protect yourself. You know that whatever happens, you will catch yourself again. There's ways of doing it in life in general, and you can take it in business life, anywhere you go. You're just like, as you play a game, in this case, I choose a direction. And it only makes sense in order to have good distance, you go in that direction as far as you can go.
Yeah.
And it will be an experience. That's a journey. All right. So, and you can build, you can find, you see what you will find. You take steps, and there's not much of a risk because I can see my steps, right? So if you want to go somewhere, let's see, you're somewhere near Denver and you want to go to New York, and you want to go by foot or by bicycle, you just have to figure out, maybe you can take a boat, maybe canoe along the river. I don't know. But that's kind of like what you have to evaluate, just the method, how you go a certain distance. And then, how far can you see? Anything beyond, it's a stipulation. And you can say like, okay, there might be something, maybe not, but you cannot make up for it. So in reality, it's only like, don't waste too much time. There's a certain things you want, like, a little bit feedback. Have a few people who really can tell you, yeah, I think that's a great idea. People you trust. If you have a certain enough certainty that you feel like, oh, it will be a fun game, because it is a fun game. It has to motivate you. It really has to rip you out of bed in the morning. You want to be excited to go right to work, because you will have challenges, and the challenges sometimes they knock you down, and you have to come right back up. And if you think about as an entrepreneur, community means everything. That's where you find your clients, So it's not just sitting behind a desk. Go out, talk to people, introduce yourself, make yourself known, be authentic, and just the way you are, you also transform people with your being. And not just a business, but your name has to be your branding with whatever it is, whatever you create, right? Whatever you call the game.
That's excellent.
Because that really will set you up for success, because, as you create your alliance, your team around it, who you align yourself with, they're also your protectors. You watch out for them, they watch out for you as you're on the playing field. So, and the more you can touch, move, and inspire people with the way of being, whatever you play, you find your resources, you find your support, you find your cheerleaders. That's just how it is. In the beginning, we get more hurt as we learn to play better and avoid getting hurt with risk assessments and different things as we learn, to maneuver on a new playing field, which we are just entering or had been on for a little bit, but there are still older players on it, right?
Right.
As we know, and that's always the case. There's always older players in a way, until we become the oldest. But that's
right.
But that's success, right?
That's why I hope that people will reach out to you and comment below. I'd love to get feedback from people, because Alexander is such a terrific success and mindset coach. You need to talk to him. We'll get you his phone number. Just comment if you have any questions. We'd love to get back to you. And I hope you stick around for our next part, which is going to be about leadership, life, and work balance wheel, where he's going to show the wheel that he's created. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you very much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
It is. I enjoy it totally. Thank you.
All right.